What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing an analysis on the Mpl-Ph Season 9 Grand Finals. So this is going to be game number 5 for RSG versus Omega, and I chose game number 5 because it's their game-winning game. So hopefully that's self-explanatory. And before we move on, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And yeah, let's move on to the draft. Alright, so looking at the draft, it looks like RSG has the first pick. It's kind of a little bit of a deja vu because RQ also had the first pick when they were in the grand finals against Onyx, and they were the one that won the grand finals as well. So RSG this time has the first pick, and the first base ban, they banned Ling, Daksha, and Beatrix, which are pretty common. No surprises there. Ling and Daksha are probably one of the two heroes that are most prioritized, along with Karina, and then Beatrix is one of the gold laners that are prioritized right now in the meta as well. For Omega, on the other hand, they banned Valentina, Franco, and Esme. Now, you guys might be asking, why did they ban Franco? Why did they ban Esme? Well, the Valentina ban is actually self-explanatory. It's a usual ban for MPL teams, usually when they're second pick. We know that Aqua plays Valentina, so I'm not sure if Nats plays Valentina, but I think there's a couple of players in Mpl-Ph that have played Valentina XP, so that's also a possibility. And plus, she's still pretty strong even after the nerf, right? Meanwhile, for Franco and Esme, the reason why they banned Franco is because Light has been playing one hell of a Franco this whole series. So it's pretty much a respect ban for OMG, which I do agree with, so it's not a bad ban at all. Meanwhile, they also banned Esme as well. Nats has been playing one hell of a Esmeralda, so that's why Esme is banned here as well. And I think there's another reason why they banned Esme, because during the first game, RSG also had the first pick, and they also first picked the same thing, which was the Wan. Now, Omega kind of planned this out, I guess, or Coach Papetes, whoever it was, but they banned the Esme so that they could counter this first pick Wan with a Phobius. Alright? Now again, Omega didn't prioritize Phobius just yet, even if they banned the Esme. What they did was they picked heroes that don't have any dashes. Not too many dashes, because technically Karina has a dash with her ulti, right? Eve doesn't, so that's why they picked these two heroes that are safe, and these guys are for sure not going to pick Phobius because they pick heroes that don't have much dashes, right? So, and also Eve and Karina are really good heroes against Wan, okay? Eve has really far range compared to a 1-1 and could pretty much outpoke her in a way on team fights and make her be out of position on team fights when a team fight is happening, while Karina could actually immune the auto attack or her ulti as well when 1-1 is flying in the air, right, with the Karina's first skill. So that's why the Karina and Eve are prioritized here for Omega. So far both teams are doing good at drafting. RSG, they answered with a Barats and a Kagura. Now, statistically speaking, the only Kagura in Mpl-Ph that is successful is Aqua, right? RSG is the only team that executed a Kagura pick this whole season. No, you guys remember when I always used to draft Kagura for a few, but it just didn't work out for us, but it was working out for us during scrims. RSG was the only one to execute it correctly in the MPL stage themselves, alright? So that's why they probably have a lot of trust on Aqua to execute this Kagura pick. While they picked the Barats to counter the Karina, because on team fights, when Barats just ultis the Karina, she's not going to be able to retribution and secure the turtle or the Lord, and yeah, he has a lot of sustain as well, and he kind of hurts, and he has AoE damage, so that's why Barats is actually a really good pick against Karina. So it's actually a decent answer from RSG. Moving on to the third pick for Omega is the Phobius, like I said earlier. They picked this to mainly counter the 1-1, to avoid 1-1 from, you know, just dashing all around the map and all around the team fight. She's gonna be more scared to dash around if there's a Phobius on team fights. So, and also Renzio is really good with Phobius. He's known for his Phobius and his glue. Actually, glue would have been okay here for Omega as well, for an alternative in my opinion. Meanwhile, on the second phase ban, let's look at it. They banned Claude and Grok. Since Omega doesn't have gold lane yet, Kelra has been playing Claude whenever there's no Beatrix open or a 1-1 open. He will always play Claude. So they're trying to kind of make Kelra not have his comfort pick. That's the easiest way to say it. They also banned Grok for RSG, which is a good ban. Grok is one of the most prioritized heroes in the game right now, and I'm kind of surprised that both teams kind of just ignored Grok on the first phase. Alright. Meanwhile, for Omega, they banned Damasha and they also banned the Angela. For the second phase, it's actually Omega who's picking first. So to be honest, They could have picked Amasha here for Rome, but if they did pick Amasha here, they wouldn't have any form of crowd control in a way, or not much crowd control. And even then, they don't really have a lot of crowd control because their last pick was Estes. For me, I think Masha would have been better, in my opinion, rather than the Estes. Or not even Masha, just I think a playmaking hero would have been better for Chaknu. Right? This is like the same situation that happened to RRQ Onyx. Onyx didn't have any form of crowd control, or not much crowd control compared to RRQ. And this time we see it again. Omega don't have much crowd control compared to RSG. As you can see, RSG has the Kufra stun. They have the Yu Zhong knock up. They have the Kagura stun. Right? They have the Barat's ulti. They have the 1-1, a little bit of stun on the 1-1 first skill, right? And, you know, that the difference on team fights and crowd control, you know, I guess crowd control wins you games. I'm not really sure. It's not always the case, but from what it looks like, you know, analyzing both grand finals from both regions, it's definitely what it looks like, because these guys barely have any crowd control. A lot of slow on the Eve, though, but no hard stuns at all, right? No hard stuns for Kari to clean up or to kill, for Karina to burst. So, but overall, like, technically speaking, these guys, it's like a 50-50 match in terms of scaling, because Yu Zhong is technically a late game hero, 1-1 is a late game hero, Kari is a late game hero, and Phobius is kind of a late game hero, I guess, as well. So it's like a 50-50 in terms of matchup and scaling. Same with laning, like Kari and 1-1 laning is not like this hero counters Kari, this hero counters 1-1. It's more of a 50-50. The only thing that made such a big difference here is the amount of CC that RSG has, which the same thing happened for RQ on it, right? And plus, we're talking about Chaknu having a utility type roamer, which I don't really agree with. He could pull it off, yes, but it's not his best pick. You know, I think he would do better with an Atlas, honestly, for me, right? With an Atlas. I'll rather have him with an Atlas instead of an Estes pick, just because he's Chaknu, right? He's Chaknu. I want him on a playmaking tank, if anything, right? Especially on the grand finals. And yeah, that's the draft. Pretty much the same thing as RQ on it, which is kind of weird. So yeah, in my opinion, the win condition that's easier to meet is obviously RSG, because they have the Kufra setup, they have a lot of stuns, while Omega is gonna have to play more passive and just farm around the map, because they don't have any pick-off potential. Not a lot of pick-up potential. They need to just, it's more like an Ubi strat. They need to stick together and micro RSG if they want to win and go online together. If they don't do that, this Ube strat doesn't work, right? This Estes pick does not work. Alright, so let's move on to the gameplay and check out what happens. Alright guys, so here we are with the gameplay, and hopefully you guys see the difference between the two regions. And just to summarize, because I'm pretty sure nothing's gonna happen here until everybody reaches level 4. Between MPL Indo and Mpl-Ph, meta is MPL Indo, they really like committing to engages, whereas Mpl-Ph, they like harassing and poking, but they don't really commit to a team fight, or they don't really force an engagement. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But here we see that RSG Light is just trying to give Eman a little bit of an easier time to clear this minion so that he can get level 4, because at this early stage of the game, it's like a 50-50 whether 1-1 could actually beat Kari, auto attack by auto attack. But if 1-1 reaches level 4, it'll be a lot easier to outplay a Kari as long as you get the vital points. Here on the other side, the XP lane, we also see that both players are playing pretty safe and they're just trying to get to level 4, don't get harassed too much. We see that Light is making an engagement here at mid against Etomax. He's not going to waste his flicker because Etomax is really good at calculating that Aqua is not going to be able to kill Eve because she's not even level 4 yet. But the big problem here for Eve is he's going to have to recall, and he's going to be delayed to clear this next minion wave, while Kagura is going to be able to clear this minion wave because she doesn't have to recall. And RSG is really good at this. They really like making these small actions. They turn into something big later on. Alright, so let's see if they can capitalize on it. So what this means is Kagura is actually going to get level 4, and then Eve is not going to get level 4 until she clears this mid lane minion. Right, so you're going to see that she is actually going to recall, and Kagura is already starting to clear. The turtle is about to be up, so it's really important for both mid laners to be level 4. So RSG actually has the upper advantage here, if you think about it. Technically, they have the advantage. They also have the positioning advantage because they have more members there, while Omega only has 2 members there. RSG has 3, which is Kagura, Kufra, and Barat. And also Bratz has level 4 as well, where he could use it to zone out the Karina if he tries coming close to the turtle. So let's see what happens here. Aqua goes for a harass on Ryzen, so he doesn't go close to the turtle. If he does go close, he's going to be pretty low. And Light is zoning 2 members of Omega, while Nats is focusing on Ryzen, on killing Ryzen using the dragon. And let's see who gets this. It was actually Karina that got it, even if RSG got the advantage in terms of positioning. You guys don't believe me that RSG had an advantage. If you think about it, 2 of Omega's members are being zoned out here, and only Ryzen is actually going to be able to go close to the turtle. While RSG has Demon Kite next to the turtle, Aqua's pretty close to the turtle, and Nats is about to go to the turtle. So it's like a 3v1 in a way, if you think about it, on Ryzen. And he still managed to retribution this turtle. And what really bothers me in a way is when I was watching this grand final, or even after, a lot of people were kind of blaming Ryzen. Well, his performance is bad and all that stuff. But in my opinion, Ryzen probably played the best during at least this game. This game at least. Alright? I don't want to talk about the other games. That's going to take way too long. But for this specific game, Ryzen was the only one making things happen. While for Omega, they can't even kill Nats with 3 people. Look, they gank with 3 people. Eve even used box to try and kill Nats, and he still managed to get away, which is quite unbelievable, honestly. Nats has been playing out of his mind this whole series, and he definitely improved compared to the last season. We saw Nats compared to last season, right? Nothing's gonna happen again. Everybody's gonna wait for the next objective. So yeah, this is Mpl-Ph. You wait for the next objective, and then once the next objective comes, that's when stuff happens. All right. So what does Omega need to do here if they want to win? So I think the best thing to do here would probably be try to get Kelra online like Onyx was doing, and then towards mid game to late game, stick together and team fight together. That's the only way they'll win. If that doesn't happen, then they're most likely going to lose. Light is going to try to engage here. Let's see if they do. They don't, since they don't have any more minions that are here, so that's a wise decision. But it looks like Demon Kite and Aqua are actually rotating on the top lane, so that, you know, they know Omega's win condition. Omega's win condition is to get this Kari online, but if they go on the top side, they're preventing Kari to farm, right? They're preventing Kari from getting his items, and this is really good for RSG, because it's kind of buying time for RSG in a way. Because if you think about it, Kari late game really hurts, especially against a Bratz. Like, it's gonna take like 3 to 5 seconds for Bratz to get bursted by a Kari. But that was a really nice engagement from Light there. Super patient, by the way, if you could see. Like, if this was, I would say, if this was MPL Indo, they would be engaging, like, right now. Right now. But since it's Mpl-Ph, Light is so patient. He waited for Etomax to actually go out of position. And I'm not even sure why he went, like, towards this way. I'm not even sure why he went towards this direction. He could have gone this way and he would have been safe. You know what I mean? He would have been fine. But this is maybe a minor error in my opinion for Etomax, a minor positioning error, which could be fixed, but this shouldn't be happening, especially knowing that not knowing that there's anybody here. You don't have any vision at all. You don't have information, and you went close to a bush that nobody has face checked yet. And plus you're squishy. You know, that's really gonna get you out of position. He's gonna die there to Aqua. So very well played from Light. Light was the one that made that happen, that pickoff happen. First blood goes to RSG. Now, Omega wants a trade. They're gonna try to go for Nats again, which is quite hard. He's actually really hard to kill, especially if he has Dragon. In most cases, if you don't have 4 people trying to kill Yuzhong, he's gonna get away. He's just gonna Dragon out. And the best thing you could do is probably waste this Dragon and Petrify. Now the turtle's up. I know Nats is trying to not waste his Dragon when the turtle is up. Most Yuzhong players try to save their Dragon form when the turtle's up. Let's see if he's gonna Dragon here. He's actually quite late, and Ryzen ended up getting it. And in my opinion, I think Nats should have left this. Nats should have left this minion wave. right here. He should have left this. This is not even important anymore. He's already level 6. He has his ultimate ability. His teammates need him to zone right here on the turtle. And Phobius, even if Phobius stays in lane, let's just say Phobius stays in lane, just for the heck of it. Let's say Phobius stays in lane. Phobius is so slow at clearing and pushing lane. So even if Yu Zhong leaves this, it's more advantageous for Nats to actually go here on the turtle. Right? That's for me at least. But he didn't come, and Ryzen had the chance to steal the turtle, which it did happen. So right, as you can see, Ryzen was even giving vision to himself. He's the only one here, because Chakno's playing Estes. You know, Estes is not someone who could really face check that much. So Ryzen's being forced to actually frontline for his teammates. In terms of Retribution battle, it looks like Ryzen is really out-retroing Demon Kite, unfortunately. That's why, I mean, RSG is not that far off. They're only 1,000 gold lead. That's the reason why. These two turtles are the reason why Omega is even keeping up to RSG. If Demon Kite ended up securing, let's just say Demon Kite secured both those turtles, since they both had the advantage, to be honest. Both those turtles, RSG had an advantage in terms of positioning and in terms of numbers, right? I think RSG would have snowballed a lot quicker, and the game would have ended a lot quicker if Ryzen wasn't able to steal these turtles, right? That's why it's mind-blowing to me that people are criticizing, or even not even criticizing, just straight up bashing Ryzen for his performance in the grand finals, when he's pretty much the only one for me that's doing his, you know, not even work. It's not even his work to face check. He's trying to make plays happen. He's trying to make a play for himself. He's trying to get his team to stay alive in the grand finals. You know, and I could see it from Ryzen. I mean, Estes can't do much. Hopefully in the mid game they start sticking together for Omega. As you can see, there's always 3 of them sticking together now. Hopefully this happens a lot, and then they get pick off after pick off when they stick together, and then take objectives one by one. That's how Omega will catch up to RSG, or even go take an advantage against RSG in terms of gold. That's how they'll get an advantage. But so far, all I'm seeing from Omega here has been farming, right? I'm not really sure why Omega thought of this draft in a way, because Omega is really known for team fights. They are so good on team fights. Even against us on our do or die for playoffs week against Omega, they are good on team fights. They're bad on macro, but they're good on team fights. They always beat us on team fights. And 1-1 actually gets a kill there on Kari. Very nice setup from Light again. And like I said on the draft, it is easier when you have a playmaking hero on you, because the crowd control really helps for your teammates to just follow up and go online. Whereas Omega kind of needs to rely on re-engagement, right? They need to re-engage to make something happen, and they need RSG to bite first before they can do anything, because they can't just go head on and chase them. They're just gonna run away, right? So let's see how Omega can catch up a bit here, because I know this last game lasted like 20 plus minutes, so they must have done something to kind of come back. So no more Barat's ulti right there. RSG Light is charging up for a first kill, and most likely he's gonna go to Ryzen to avoid Retribution, and hopefully Demon Kite finally secures a turtle. Nats is gonna zone these guys right here on the back line most likely. And who got the turtle? It was actually Demon Kite finally getting the turtle, so that's good, finally. And look at Nats zoning 3 people. Yu Zhong is so good against Estes. So good against Estes. And considering that Omega doesn't have like a split push hero in a way, like Phobius can't really split push. So Yu Zhong could kind of split push, but it's quite slow. The best pushing XP laners would probably be Esme, Uranus, those two. Specifically, D-Roth can split push as well. Paquito can kind of split push. So that's why Yu Zhong is a really good pick here. You know, they don't get they're not going to get countered in terms of split push, and also it's really good against Estes because they're all sticking together. Yu Zhong has a lot of AoE damage. So it's a really good pick from Coach Panda to actually pick the Yu Zhong here. So let's see what happens here. Most likely RSG is gonna just take the objectives one by one. Alright, they're trying to box out and zone out this this bot lane tower, but from what it looks like, it's mid game. Omega is starting to group up. It is not laning phase anymore. They're gonna start grouping up and taking team fights as a team. Let's see if it works out for them. That was a nice dodge from Renzio, but Karina's gonna die right away. What happened there to Ryzen, by the way? He got ulted by the Barats. And he got ulted by the Barats. Does Chakno has an ulti? Yep, he does. Let's see what happens here. Get ulted by a Barats. Okay. Eve box so that he could try and save the Karina, but Yuzhong is gonna counter that. Yep, cancel the ulti right there. Estes is gonna heal. It's not a bad team fight from both teams. Although Omega's obviously losing right here. It was a 1-4-2 trade and the jungler is dead. Plus their support who's 0 and 3 now. So I mean they can't do much, honestly. All Omega could do is just defend. That's pretty much what's gonna happen here. And that's also a main difference between MPL Indo teams and PH teams. I'm sorry if I keep mentioning it, but hopefully you guys appreciate me trying to compare both regions. I would say that there's no region that is stronger than the other. It's just the way they play is different. But both regions are quite good. They have their pros and cons. That's what I mean. What's it called? On team fights, usually the losing team for Indo, they fight back. Whereas Mpl-Ph, they just kind of micro them. And they disengage. Whereas MPL Indo, if you saw my previous analysis on RRQ versus Onyx, it was still Onyx trying to get map pressure and fight back. Even when they were like 5,000 gold lead behind. Which is, that's where you'll see the aggressiveness change between the two regions. Nice engagement from Light there, but he's not going to go for an ulti. And I'm surprised they didn't go for an ulti. I guess they didn't need to since the Lord gets stolen by Omega. So that's going to be really bad right there. I'm surprised they didn't like all end the Karina at all. Maybe they didn't want to die because they know that they are about to secure the Lord. But after engaging, they didn't even zone. They just left. These guys left. They thought it was done. Light left. Aqua was here. I mean, Aqua is understandable since he's squishy. That's understandable to do, but Light shouldn't be retreating this far in my opinion. I think he should have stayed like right here, or maybe in this bush right here, so that Karina can't come close, because Karina's just gonna go straight to the Lord since he left. So that's exactly what happened here. Look, Light, I don't know what Light is doing here. Maybe even here, Light would have been better here. He just stayed all the way in the back line. He had that much trust in his teammates, I'm guessing. I think he had a lot of trust on Demon Kite to secure the Lord, and Ryzen ended up stealing it, and unfortunately Omega got it. Even though, again, RSG was at an advantage in terms of positioning and numbers. I mean, it was all 5 members for both teams, but in terms of positioning, it was RSG who was closer to the Lord, and they were near the Lord, and they were the one that was doing the Lord, right? So again and again, that's 2 turtles that Ryzen stole, 1 Lord that Ryzen stole. It's only been Ryzen that's doing things, that's making things happen, and that's why it really, like, I'm mind blown by people who bash Ryzen with his grand finals performance, right? Like for me, I didn't even expect Omega to get to the grand finals. I expected Echo to actually win the first round and Omega's done after that. But these guys surprised me, and I guess it is true that during the playoffs they are poison or lasod, as they say. It is definitely true. They proved every time in the playoffs that they can go further than what they placed during the regular season. And from what's happening here, like I said earlier, Mpl-Ph is really focused on re-engagement. And you'll see that RSG is going to actually engage and try to make a play here with the Light, with Kufra, with Light on Kufra. But since he failed his engagement, Omega is going to re-engage, and that's when they start winning team fights, right? Mpl-Ph teams love doing this. They love doing this. This happened to us for Bren many times. Since Joyboy really likes making engagements and likes making plays, when he messes up, Mpl-Ph teams really like punishing those types of players where they keep engaging and engaging and engaging. They like re-engaging and taking advantage of it. That you failed your engagement, right? They wait for you to bite, and then they bite you back in a way. Whereas Indo, they just clash. It's just all clash head on. Nobody's waiting. Let's go. Let's fight, right? And hopefully you guys see that here in the analysis for both videos. Right? Let's see what happens next. Most likely, what's gonna happen next is just wait for the next Lord again. Hopefully nobody gets out position, nobody gets picked off. Wait for the next Lord. Let's skip this. Nothing's gonna happen here. Nothing's gonna happen here. They're just gonna wait. This is the waiting game. And the funny part is, even when both teams are doing Lord, they're gonna do like a cha-cha. You'll see it later. They're gonna do a cha-cha dance back and forth, and they're not gonna continue the Lord. They're just gonna wait there and wait for someone to bite. And then when someone bites, that's when the team fight happens, and then the opposite team re-engages. You'll see later. They're just gonna do a cha-cha. Mpl-Ph is a lot more patient. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I also don't know if it's a good thing for MPL Indo that they're aggressive all the time. You know, like I said, it has its pros and cons. So there's no point in all the viewers and the fans you know, trying to trash talk each other. Oh, Mpl-Ph is better, MPL Indo is better. I would say they have their weaknesses and they have their strengths. So let's see what happens here. This is the cha-cha dance that I was talking about, and look, they're just gonna wait for it because they don't know. Oh, are we gonna go continue this Lord, or are we not gonna go continue this Lord? It looks like Nats took the bait. He bit the bait, and then they're gonna go for it. And even then, they're not even continuing the Lord still. Look at this. Even then, they're not continuing the Lord until they get a pick off. See what happens here? Light did really good knocking up the Kari because that's their main DPS. And Karina did really good baiting out the Barad's ulti. That's really good. Who's gonna get this Lord? I'm not sure. Phobius did really good staying alive, just pressing ulti. Wow. Who got the Lord? It was Karina again? It was Karina again. Or was it Kagura? Let's see. It was Karina again getting the Lord, which is insane. If you think about it, how many members of Omega were near the Lord? Look! And people keep bashing Ryzen. This guy is just ulting. He's about to die. He needs to keep pressing his ulti. There's 2 members of Omega, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 members of RSG next to the Lord. And like pretty much like most of Omega, they already retreated. They're done. They're like, oh, we don't want to contest Lord anymore. Because these guys have really good zoning. Chakno already leaving. Eve is about to go out. Look, on the minimap, he's about to leave. Hari's already dead because of the usual, right? Oh, RSG has the advantage in terms of these objectives. But then Ryzen just keeps on stealing and stealing and stealing. They both have jungle emblem. Right? There's really no excuse to this. Really. It's just retry diff in a way. For this specific game at least. Obviously, for the previous games, I believe Demon Kite did pretty good securing those turtles and lords. But this specific game, Ryzen was just out retrying Demon Kite. It happens to every jungler. Not every game you'll be better at retrying than the other jungler, right? It's just there's a luck factor in there. There is a skill factor in it, timing and all that, and the way your team, you know, when your teammates have more pressure. Like for example, Demon Kite's teammates are putting a lot of pressure on Omega right now, while Ryzen has himself. Literally, it was like himself and Renzio just getting the Lord. You know, that puts more pressure on you because there's only 2 of you. There's less of you. So it's insane to me that Ryzen's getting all these objectives secured. Not even secured, stolen. He's getting all these objectives stolen, and that's what's making Omega breathe. That's what's making Omega breathe. Because if you think about it, if those objectives didn't get stolen, this would have been a one-sided stomp. One-sided stomp in favor of RSG. But yeah, good job to Ryzen, I guess, for securing all these objectives, and they're punishing quite not bad. They're not punishing so bad. Let's see how they can improve that. Give me 1 second. All right, so they let the Lord punch. They wanted the Lord to actually punch the tower and made sure that it did. And they went to the mid lane to secure that the second tier towers are all down. Very good. So they're using this Lord pretty efficiently. It's not bad. Let's see what else happens here. So now they've caught up on towers. Now Omega has more towers than RSG because of the 2 stolen Lords. So it's looking pretty, pretty difficult for RSG right now, at least. So a lot of fans also tend to make a huge mistake by looking at the kills. They usually think, oh, 10-5 is the score, RSG's winning. That's not the point. You need to look at the gold, the towers. Those, I feel like the gold and the towers are the most important thing to look at when basing. Just by one look. If I want to pause the game here, just by looking at this, if I want to base is winning or not, I look at the gold in the towers. Not the kills, because if you just base on kills, you'll think that RSG is winning by a lot, because they're 5 kills ahead. So, yeah, a lot of fans tend to make that mistake, but don't do it. But again, nothing's going to happen here until the next Lord comes up. You can see, like, I keep comparing Mpl-Ph and Indo, but for Mpl Indo, even when the Lord is not up, usually they just fight. they just fight. They just like fighting, even when the Lord is not up. They like pickoffs. They like fighting. Team fight on team fight. No resting. Let's just keep on going. So RSG is gonna try again. They have more pressure in the front line since they have way more. How do you say this? They have more frontline presence with the Yuzhong, Barats and Kufra, as you can see, while these guys only have what? Phobius and Karina, who has frontline presence, whereas Estes needs to stay back and heal in a way, like at the middle of the team fight. So let's see what happens here. And this is another cha-cha that's gonna happen, as you can see. And Mpl-Ph really likes doing this. And see, yeah, I wasn't lying when I said they do the cha-cha. They just go back and forth, and then they just wait for people to bite. They wait for someone to bite, and that's when shit starts happening. Let's see. Okay, got reset. Lord gets reset. Another cha-cha. Alright. Let's see what else happens here. Aqua's giving some vision here. They're trying to play safe and create a play. Looks like Kari's blowing these minion wave. Who is gonna bite first? Let's see who bites first. See, even if the Lord is like 25% health, nobody's going. Nobody's committing. The commitment. MPL Indo would have been like... But then... PH, chill out. Oh, there it is. RSG bit first. Here we go. Ooh, Light actually messed up. Nats is actually trying to zone him out. Ooh, that's the game-changing play right there. He just caught... How did Kari flicker out of that? I think Yuzhong may have petrified way too early, because usually Kari gets knocked up. Or anybody. Anybody usually gets knocked up when you do a petrify combo with Yuzhong. But in that case, Kari actually ended up flickering out. And 1-1 got an ulti out. There it is. Even then, it kind of got Omega out of position with that play from Nats. It gave them an opening. And how did Kite lose his stats? Give me a second. How did Kite lose his stacks? Alright, so it looks... Whoa. Wait, why is he going smaller? How did he lose his stack in the middle of a team fight? Am I tripping? Wait, whoa. He's big, right? Usually when Barats is big, he has a lot of stacks. He has... Okay, he ulted. Why is he getting smaller? Is that a visual bug? I don't know how Demon Kite lost his stack, because there's so many people around him. Barats shouldn't be losing his stack. It's hard for Barats to lose his stack, especially in the middle of the team fight. But then again, as you can see, Ryzen versus 2 people on the Lord. And he almost got it. It looks like Kagura even got it. Ryzen almost got it. It was just that Nats and Eman did a really good job getting the back line. Kari's level 15, but he doesn't want to fight. How did he lose his stack? I don't know. I don't know how Barats got so small. And I'm not really sure if it's a visual bug. So, anyways, let's see how RSG will use this Lord efficiently. They're getting all the second tier towers. There we go. Okay, seems good to me. Maybe he didn't lose his stack. It was just that the camera went wide. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. That's probably what happened. And it looked like he was getting smaller. So the Lord actually punched already on the top lane. So now RSG wants to get the bot lane. Most likely they're going to go on the bot side, as you can see. And then after they get the bot side, they wait for the Lord. This is all self-explanatory. Hopefully this is all self-explanatory for the viewers. And then nothing happens. They can freeze the lane, wait for people to come out, wait for Omega to come out and go out of position. That's usually what's going to happen, but most likely they're just going to wait for the Lord. They're just going to wait for the Lord. Omega's just going to farm in the base. 1-1's going to freeze, and RSG's going to freeze in general. They're not going to push the lanes. I'm surprised they keep... I'm surprised they keep wave clearing this mid lane. Maybe they want to bait it out. Yeah, they most likely want to bait it out. Maybe that's why they cleared it. That's the only reason I would think of if they cleared mid lane, where they could have froze the lane, to be honest. The Lord's about to be up. Okay, here goes the Cha-Cha again. The same thing over and over. The only thing that really changes is the early game. Yeah, TNC is the one good team that really does some weird stuff in the early stages of the game. Like, they'll have a Lolita Lilia pick and they'll invade you still. When you expect them to fast clear mid, they invade you. TNC is the only one that does that. For RSG, they invade now and then, but not a lot. Maybe if Light gets a Franco or a Masha, it really depends on the hero, of course. But you know what I mean. But for TNC, even with the hero like Lolita, who's not really good at invading, and I guess Lilia is good. They do that weird stuff, and it really throws you off, and it catches you off guard. See what happens here. Again, the Cha-Cha is happening, and what's really good about Mpl-Ph as well is they are good at managing their waves when the Lord is up. Mostly. Most teams, at least. Most teams. I wouldn't say all. But yeah, since they like doing the Cha-Cha dance during the Lord fights, they try to take advantage of the minion waves. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Okay, Karina, no more Winter Chunchon, and no more ulti for Brats. And it looks like they're still doing the Cha-Cha dance. And Omega just needs to stick together, and hopefully they can win a team fight. That's the horrible part for Omega. That's the best they can do. Light is gonna catch Etomax off guard. Oh, that's it. That's game right there. He got out of position right there. How did he not know? How did Etomax not know he was there? Did he not see? Oh, he didn't see. Nobody was close. Yeah, there's no way Karina could have seen this. Maybe if Karina was here, definitely would have seen it, but he's a little too far. Yeah, Light and Nats did really good grabbing that vision right there, and that caught Etomax off guard. He knew too! Etomax knew they were there. He used second skill over there, but he still went close. He knows. See, look, he used second skill there. He still went close. He knows. He knows they're there. 1-1's gonna get his ulti out. I wonder if 1-1 has Sea Halberd. I'm guessing he should. Sea Halberd on 1-1 is really good if there's an Estes at least. Does he have Wind of Nature? Jesus, Kari hurts. Who got the Lord? I'm not even sure who got the Lord. It's most likely RSG. Again, Ryzen trying to make miracle plays. Who got the Lord? Give me a second. I think it was RSG who got the Lord, but let's see how it happened. Okay, no more red tree, and it was only Demon Kite that red tree because Ryzen got stunned, I believe, by Kufra. Yeah, Ryzen got knocked up by Kufra, as you can see. Right there. Knocked up. He had no chance of stealing that Lord. That was really good knock up and CC from Light and Aqua. Just to make sure Demon Kite secures that Lord. Okay, most likely Demon Kite is not gonna die here unless Kari gets a free hit. How do they take advantage of this Lord? They probably would take the inhibitor towers first and then go with the Lord. I'm not sure. I think the game is over here. There's only 3 members of Omega and they have no wave clear. That's another thing that's really bad for Omega. They have shitty wave clear. Whereas RSG, they have Brats who can first skill and second skill. One who has decent wave clear, I guess, with Windtalker and first skill. Yu Zhong with AoE. This is the that's also the bad part about Omega's draft. Kagura has Umbrella to wave clear. I mean, RSG doesn't have really good wave clear as well, to be honest. And I'm surprised the game didn't end there. Give me 1 second. How did it not end? Okay, the Etamax was about to spawn, so it's gonna be a 4v4 since Yu Zhong is still dead. So they wanted to play it safe. Don't tell me you're gonna wait for another Lord. Ah, yes. Yeah. So they actually only got one tower there. And unfortunately, Phobius was out of position, or Light just really made a good play. How did he hit that? Oof. How did he hit that first kill? It was like right here. It hit right here. Right here. Whoa! I don't even know how that hit. That was like a phantom first kill. Because Cooper's first kill is a circle, I guess. I mean, I guess. It is what it is. Light got the play. He maximum ranged that Phobius. Yeah. He hit him with a maximum range first kill. And I think that's it. I think RSG could end the game here. It's a 4v5. They still have the dragon. Yeah, there it is. There's the dragon, but Kari hurts. And I don't even think Ryzen can sustain this. It's GG. That is it. Oh, they don't even want a tower lock yet. And Kari gets caught again. There's the play. GG. Congratulations to RSG. Definitely deserved it. They played so well during the regular season, and even in the playoffs, they only dropped one game. This was the only game they dropped. That 1 point from Omega was the only game they dropped. They had some pretty close games against Onyx, but it was a 3-0 as well. Against TNC, did they play TNC? Yes, they did play TNC, I believe. They had some pretty close games there too. But yeah, congratulations to RSG. They played well, and hopefully by, if you guys watch my previous video with the MPL Indo Grand Finals, and then if you're watching this video now, you definitely see a big difference of the meta. I wouldn't say big, but like playstyle. Not really meta. Same meta, different playstyle. There you go. Between the two regions. Let me know in the comment section which... never mind. That's gonna make some controversies and fights on the comment section. Don't do that. Just let me know who you guys think is gonna win MSC. There you go. Just let's just do that. Who do you guys think is gonna win MSC, this upcoming MSC? So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis again for Mpl-Ph Grand Finals. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you leave. And that is all for today's video. See you guys. Peace.